Hey guys, you would not believe what we are at today. We are in Spokane at the Speed and Custom show, and it is phenomenal. The amount of cars that are here actually, to me, blow my mind at what we saw at Detroit and Toronto. This is incredible. And I'm also going to show you guys 5 of JF's builds that are here. He's either built completely from the ground up or he's had a hand in. I can't wait to show you the Mustang. It's amazing. And we'll talk to some of the builders and maybe to the man himself.
Hi, my name is Terry. I am from Northern Alberta, just recently moved into Kelowna. We had built this 1985 Chevrolet truck, and we brought just the cab, came from Northern Alberta, full of rust, full of dents, and this is where it started.
And then he passed that mess on to me. And of course, with lots of help from the Okanagan crew, I guess, if we want to call it that, like JF Customs helped us out a lot and stuff, but turning...
Tell me who you are.
Kind of a... Yeah, I guess that helped. Jerry Dembski, flabbergasted. But yeah, getting to know all the guys in the Okanagan that helped us along with the project, it was pretty awesome. And this is the result of it. Terry basically said, let her happen. And it got out of control. That's the only way
It
to
sure did. It's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the build.
It was built by K&S Engines out of Kelowna, British Columbia,
Okay.
and it's all complete with the Hillborn injection system, with the serpentine belt system, carbon fiber heads on it, belt covers, and we had a dyno, approximately 620 horsepower on pump gas.
Wow.
And you can see how the round tube chassis is all incorporated through the engine area, engine bay.
Yep.
Then it goes into the firewall, through the cab, and through the rest of the truck.
If you go on Pinterest and you look at 3,000 square bodies on there, how do you reinvent a square body to be different than the other 3,000?
Sure. Yeah.
And this is the result. We just slammed a whole bunch of tubing at it to build the chassis, and everything just kind of went from there and got out of control and sideways. And thanks to Terry, this is the result.
Where did the color concept come from?
Well, it was starting out as a red and white two-tone effect, because it was my first truck was a square body. And I met this good-looking guy named JF, and he talked me into this copper color. Apparently he was coming in from Australia. And we went with it, and it turned out absolutely wonderful.
Okay, let's talk about the interior.
It's our good friend Lee Baxter.
Wow.
We fabricated a lot of the interior, and then of course we just handed it off to guys like JF, who Gary works in his shop, did a bunch of fiberglass work for us, up in the A-pillars and so on and so forth. And then we handed it off to Lee, and he perfected this thing with all his magic, and this is the end result. So.
It's just elegant.
The dash is all hand-built from
this is
a 64 Impala.
64 Impala here, and then the rest is all handmade below it and beside.
The dash instrumentation is all from Dakota, but it's for a 64 Impala.
So who came up with the idea for the 64 Impala dash?
Well, that was Gary's creative.
I like it.
It's something different, you know, like the square body stuff is wonderful and so on, but you try to get away from the, I guess, the squareness.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's
So
great.
let's just make it custom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about low tension. Where did the name low tension come from?
Well, low tension is a nickname, so I guess it starts out with low, so the truck is being low, and 10 is kind of like a C10 nickname, and then Sean would just kind of finish it off as a low tension.
I love it. I love it.
The real theme here is basically when you close everything up in this truck, it looks like a real nice square body, but as soon as you open something up, we wanted it to kind of jump out and hit you in the face a little bit. It's industrial. Let's just call it that. It's not meant to be hidden away or anything like that.
Is that nitrous that I see in the back corner there?
This is air
Oh, it's
tank.
air.
It's an air tank.
Oh,
It's an air
okay.
tank. We have air right on the front. Air tank. All the air conditioning stuff is inside here in the back.
Oh.
And then the air conditioning inside the cab, it has no ducts in the dash. So basically, it's like when you open your refrigerator door, we have a big, huge vent behind the back seats. And it's like you're sitting in the fridge. There's nothing blowing on you. So that's the whole idea.
Coming from behind you and around you.
And I want you to tell me what awards you've won with this car so far.
I guess our first showing was at the Roadster National Show in Pomona, California. We come away there with 3 first places. One was first place in the street machine for truck, and we got a first place for our interior, and we have an award for our display. That was our first show. Then we went up to Canada and we went over to Winnipeg, Manitoba, where we won a few awards there, winning the big Maple Leaf Award. It was very, very wonderful there. And we brought back to Calgary the week later, and we won a Jim Leslie Award there as well, which is another very wonderful achievement to have there.
Awesome.
And this is our fourth show.
Fourth show.
Fourth
Okay.
show. Yeah.
So what are you hoping to win here?
That's a good question.
Anything. If you look at what's here, holy smokes. And as JF's told us, this is better than the Detroit show probably in a lot of ways. You know, there's such good cars here and so on. So, I mean, just to be invited, I think, personally, my own personal opinion, just to be invited here to the show at this level, it's already a win. It's my
Awesome.
opinion.
And we are parked amongst some pretty nice cars here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty special.
Tell me what it's like working with Jerry.
Well, working with Jerry's been lots of fun. You know, if you don't have a new nickname that morning when you walk in the shop, you know it's going to be not a great day. But so I have a lot of nicknames.
What nicknames does Terry have?
Well, look at the physique on this guy. So I just call him Lumpy. He's my good friend Lumpy. He takes it with a grain of salt. We're having fun with it. You know,
The best thing of the show here today is that Jerry inherited his new T-shirt over there. It's called Sons of Arthritis.
Sons of Arthritis.
so he's got to heckle the whole old guy, right? No respect at all. He just keeps tearing me up.
Perfect.
That's okay. We have fun with it. You know, at the end of the day, building these hot rods is so much fun. People are so awesome. But boy, if you can make your guts hurt at the end of the day from laughing, it's all good.
Hey everybody, we are here with Gore Phillips from Quesnel, BC, and JF built the most amazing car 12 years ago with this gentleman. It was 12 years ago.
2012, we took it to Detroit.
Amazing. And I had the pleasure of detailing the underneath of this car this week, and it was incredible. I have been under almost every vehicle of JF's except for the wagon, and by far this one is the prettiest underneath and above, everywhere. So I'm gonna ask if you can kind of give me a run through of this car and nuts and bolts, where it started, where it all happened.
Sure. We bought the car in the 90s. It had come out of an auto wreckers previous to that. It was quite wrecked. It had gone to a Mustang shop in Prince George, got rebuilt, not to my standards, so we tore it apart, and I worked on it for about 18 years myself, knowing that I wasn't going to get it done in my time if I didn't get help. So off to JF's went, and I think we spent 3 years on it together, putting it together, and it's been a rush ever since that. A great journey.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with this bad boy under the hood. What's going on here?
Okay, so we got a 427 side oiler put in by ourselves, built it in Quesnel, Terry's Auto Lab, put the motor together. It's a 1966 block. We did a whole bunch to it, which we didn't really have to because we're we're not driving the thing. We're not road racing it. We're not even starting it up for that matter, because it's too hard on the paint, and it's just, if you're going to show it at this level, you got to have it nice.
Yeah. And let's talk about this hood. I think this is the nicest hood I have ever seen on a GT500. Yes? No?
Yes,
I think so.
I think so. What we've done here is we've taken what Shelby would have put together. He put together the aluminum, the fiberglass hood, the fiberglass front end, the fiberglass trunk, the fiberglass back end, the roll cage in it, the air scoops on it. That's what Shelby did to the Mustang. So we just refined what he had already started. Took a lot of work because it's old fiberglass and it's not easy to work with. But we put the stripes all the way through the bottom of the hood, down the firewall, under the car, completely right around over top the car.
Yeah. Like even the oil pan is etched.
The oil pan is etched. The fuel tank on the back is etched. The transmission is etched. Everything is etched where the stripes should be.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I had the pleasure of going through kind of the build book with JF and Dave Hartman, and he was one of his major painters at the time. And how Dave was saying is, he says JF made sure that every single stripe matched, including on the ones. I guess he said he was having a little bit of a difficult time trying to figure out the match on here. So do you know the story on this?
Well, we made it to put the name of the Cardiac, or the name that we named the car, in there, and then striped it up through the door, around the inside of the door, and all along the outside of the door.
And look at how that just seamlessly fades. And then there's this stripe right along here, yeah. And you can see it right there. And it fades perfectly right into there. Yeah, it's just incredible.
And then it comes up to where the GT500 would have been on the regular striping.
Yeah, beautiful. And then of course, Mike Curtis wheels.
Mike Curtis wheels, Mike Curtis grill, front and...
The grill's his as well?
Both from Mike, top and bottom.
Okay.
And Mike Curtis steering wheel.
Oh yeah, and that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, incredible. And look at the interior. This vehicle, and actually, classically enough, is the one that's right beside you here. It's 17 years old.
Right.
This one's 12. I think after just coming back from Detroit and what we saw, these could be contenders today.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an error that, things change fast, but it seems to have lasted so far in time.
I know one detail that I remember JF was telling me about was these right here, in here. Did he ever tell you about this?
Yes, the side scoops were put on by Shelby back in '67. The bottom scoop was actually functional on the first couple 300 or 400 cars, and it actually blows cold air out onto the brakes. After that, the scoop was there, but they didn't actually function. So that's just something that Shelby did.
And JF said that he had a heck of a time painting the insides of those, because if you put your hand in them, they're absolutely smooth as glass, fully painted, where Shelby wouldn't have done that.
No, it was still so hard because it kept blowing the paint back as you were painting. It's just one of those things. Roll bars put in by Shelby back in '67.
And they just look like a piece of jewelry in there. Everything is a piece of jewelry.
Lee Baxter.
Lee Baxter interior, of course. Our favorite. Exceptional work. Let's go take a look at the back end here. And of course, the famous half wheel. Was your car the very first half wheel, or did the wagon get one?
No, this is the very first one that JF did with the
That's what
half
I thought.
wheel.
Yeah.
Mostly to show that the scoop the scoop sucks the air in and blows it out on the brakes. Is actually a functional piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Just magnificent. And then right to the back, the back end is like a piece of jewelry as well. Everything.
There again, Lee Baxter interior. We used the stock tail lights, clear coated them. We put the exhaust out the bottom together, just like the 69 and 70 Shelbys would have been back in the day.
Incredible. And I see with your display, you've got the extra wheels. Did you get those wheels done for the display, or did you have some extra wheels that while you were practicing on?
I think what actually happened was we ordered up some wrong cut wheels, so we invented a stand to use them up, and it actually works.
Oh, it's genius. I love it. In my eyes, a stunning piece. I think one of JF's best builds that he's ever done in my eyes, and that's a hard one because I know all of them are so amazing, but that it's definitely my pick when I look at this vehicle. So thank you so much, Gord, for taking some time with me to talk about the car.
You're welcome, Teresa. Anytime.
All right, so we are here with Amy Gauthier, and JF did a little bit of work on this truck too.
We're from Langley, BC. We had a couple other friends have builds done by JF. Liked his artistic impression, and when we told him about our project, he was excited for us, and one thing led to another, and he was able to fit us in to do the paint and body work, and we were super happy with the outcome and his part of it. So
yeah. This is a beautiful truck.
This was my late brother's truck. He passed away in 2014 of cancer, and at the age of 54 in 2014. So we bought it off his estate, and then we took it in a little different direction than he wanted to do. Yep. And he had 2.5 years in on the build, and we did 6.5 years. So hence the truck had a double life. And my brother and I played a lot of ball together, so it was a double tie-in. So yeah, it was a little nickname for the truck. So
I love it. So let's just begin with this beautiful piece of jewelry on the front of this truck.
So yeah, we've got 19 body mods from the front bumper to the tailgate. We started with a one-off hood emblem Mike Curtis made for us. He made our wheels and our air cleaner. It was in order to pay homage to my brother. He was born in '59. So we went with a 1956 script on the hood emblem and the valve covers.
So tell me what engine do you have in here?
We've got a 454 Chevy engine, fuel injected, the Edelbrock ProFlow 4 system. So yeah.
Transmission?
Transmission, the Turbo 400, all rebuilt. And then a Ford 9-inch rear end on the back end.
Anything done to the suspension on this?
It sits on a TCI frame. My brother had ordered that. He had told him what motor he wanted, what wheel size. Like I say, we took it in a different direction than he wanted. He wanted more of a pro street look. We wanted more of a modern look. Hence, we went with these wheels built by Mike Curtis. So we got 20-inch on the rear and 19-inch on the front. The front of the box is actually contoured to the back of the cab. So the original box, it would have been straight across. We actually contoured it to match the back of the cab. That was one of JF's suggestions, and we liked the idea, so we carried on with it. We extended the stake pockets to make it look like they were supposed to be finished to the roll pan there. On the roll pan, we added 1 inch of metal under the bottom of the cab to fill the big gap. Then on the front of the running boards, we made it the way Chevy should have made it, contouring to the front fenders instead of rolling away and having a big gap. So just a little bit better fit and finish. We trimmed up the drip rails on both sides, front and rear, about 3/4 of the way up, just to get a little cleaner look. We added 1956 to 59 Chevy truck peep mirrors. We had to shave down and make them fit our doors. So really like the style and look of those. So these taillight brackets were a one-off idea that I had, so you can't see how they're wired or how they're mounted. And we also did a roll pan on the bottom side that rolls into the fenders. We had to extend the bottom of the fenders to tie into the roll pan to just give a better fit and finish.
Beautiful. I love the tailgate.
The tailgate, again, was another one of my ideas. I started with some masking tape and kind of laid it on the tailgate what I wanted it to look like, and then gave it to my sheet metal guy, Rick Webster, and he made it happen, and we were super happy of how it turned out. We had it recently pinstriped, which is very subtle. Again, it's a dark green pinstripe around the letters, and when you walk around it, sometimes you see it and sometimes you don't.
Yeah,
And
until
then-
you pointed that out to me, I didn't notice it. So thank you.
And then the back bumper was off a 41 Chev pickup. We liked it because it was narrower, and then we handmade the valance in between the box and the bumper.
Now,
So we had Lee Baxter out of OSOYOOS, BC do the interior. Again, we had seen a lot of his work, and we're super excited that he could fit us in and do our project with us. And my wife was a little concerned of, you know, should we go up there and see what we have to decide on and this and that. And
yeah.
I just reassured her that Lee knew what we liked, the style we liked, and we left it with him. And he did a fabulous job. We actually made a one-off fiberglass headliner that we poured a mold on another truck, and then had to have a little bit of work done to make it fit perfect.
Yeah.
But it's a one-piece fiberglass headliner.
And of course, we've got a baseball stitch.
The baseball stitch on the sun visors were a
visors.
little touch that yeah, we really liked. So
Love it.
he also did a package tray, and we left a tank inside the truck, and thought Lee was just going to put a curtain over it, but he actually did a really good job finishing the leather and
Beautiful.
gave us a little room for a little something.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to show me this amazing
Oh.
truck. And what was the color? I mean, I know JF never does one color that is actually just out of a pick on a piece of paper. So.
It started off as a khaki terrain green, and JF and his sales rep added a little bit of something to it, and it looks really good. It's got a star flake in it, so out in the sun it takes on a different look.
Oh yeah,
from
under
inside.
those palm trees in Pomona last
Yes,
year, that was
yes,
amazing.
yes.
This car looked absolutely should be just parked in California somewhere all the time, and I love it. So, since you guys have finished it,
Yep.
how many awards have you guys won with it so far?
We were part of the West Coast Challenge last year, so we did Pomona, Portland, Spokane, and Sacramento. In Pomona, we were second in class. The rest of the three shows, we were first in class and best truck in the show at all three of those shows. So,
Wow.
and last weekend, we were in Calgary at the ISCA show, and we got best truck in the Calgary show as well. So. Here in Spokane, we won Best Truck last year, so we are just non-competing. We just brought it down for show and having a lot of fun. Great show to be at. So, yeah, hopefully everyone enjoys.
Well, I don't know about you, but I know your brother has been around here a lot because I have been finding little feathers all over the place. I bet you he's loving this car.
I'm sure
Our
he's.
truck.
I'm sure he's smiling down, looking on
He is,
us, and
he is, for sure.
happy that we got it finished and proud of us. So.
Here's the Peace, Love, and Joy room.
All right, Spokane, that's a wrap. We've won best of class with every car that we entered that competed, which is awesome. And we are now off because what do they call it? The magic hour is gonna happen pretty quick here. So we're off to do a photo shoot on the Roadster. Thanks for paying attention. We'll give you a list of what our customers did there, and we gotta go for a drive. You come with us?